Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a bleak morning here today. I've been getting the garden all squared away and wanted to share it with you and show you where we're at. We're going to take a quick pit stop here by the chickens and give them their daily treat. I like to use the soldier fly larva from Grubterra. They love it and they can't get enough of it. So we'll go in there and get them squared away, and then we'll get on to the garden. All right, babies, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. This is actually one of the better parts of my day because they all love to eat from my hand when they're not arguing with one another. And it's a really fun experience. So we get situated here and we'll get some. All right, ladies, come on, come on. Come on, get on in there. Get on in there. Dorothy, come on. And they love this stuff. They just eat it up. They get mad if I don't bring any in. They kind of give them a little feeding, and we just kind of sprinkle the rest out so they're good to go. I cleaned their coop out yesterday, so they are very happy right now, I'm sure. This first area here, this is where my old garden used to be, my old raised bed garden. I had 12-inch high raised beds, and I used it for several years. I wanted to be conscious of what I was putting on the beds, so I used untreated wood, which in South Carolina doesn't work. It just rots too quickly. I only got a couple of years out of the wood, and it didn't work. So I had to do something to fix that. And I think I've got a piece over here. We can kind of take a quick look, and that's maybe about 2 years old. That stuff wasn't going to last for long. So, and I've got a video on these. If you want to check that out, is the raised beds over here. Take a look at those. I've got those set up. But we're going to start over here with my grow bags. Last week I got the irrigation line run out to them. And what we're going to put in these grow bags is we're going to put potatoes. We're going to put potatoes in the grow bag. I've got about 3 or 4 inches. Oh, we got a little frog there. Hello, Mr. Frog. I like little critters. I'll have to move him once I get the potatoes in here. But I've got about 3 or 4 inches of soil, and I will be putting a layer of compost on top of that when I go to plant my potatoes. Now, some of y'all may be saying these bags are huge, and they are, the big ones anyway. I just got a really good deal on them I couldn't pass up, so I don't know how much I'll be using them. But next year I hope to have some additional raised beds out here and actually grow the potatoes in the raised beds. Because one of the problems with growing them in the sacks is you have to put new soil in the sack every year, or else you run the risk of getting diseases and pests that are particular to the potato or nightshade, some of your nightshades. So that's what we got. And I've got some put some landscape fabric. Put some landscape fabric underneath them to keep the grass from growing up and make it a little easier to manage and maintain. Now we've got our raised beds here. I've got 6 of them. And I've got my irrigation all squared away. So put drip irrigation on all of them. We've got the going down in the inside, and then I trenched down the sides to hide it, to make it nice and easy to use the lawnmower through here, because this grass grows so fast and it will overcome it very quickly. I mean, it's February and you can see we already need a little bit of a trim there on the sides. So we've got all these set up, and you can get a little bit of weeds already. But what I've done is about a week ago, I topped off each one of these beds with 4 bags of compost. So this compost is going to sit and rest for a little while. and then I'll be able to plant in it. And I can't wait. I get so excited about planting in the spring. I don't know, you know, to be honest, I almost get more excited about planting than I do about eating, because it's just such an amazing thing to see that plant come out of the ground that you planted from a little itty bitty seed. I just get excited about it. You know, I'd like to hear what gets you excited about gardening. Put it in the comments for me. Tell me what you know, why you garden and why you continue to garden. Is it to feed your family? Is it because you need something to relax, or what? I do it for a little bit of all those. I like knowing where my food comes from, but I also, like I said, I just like the magic of it all. And this bed's got a few weeds in it too. Now over here are my garlic, and they are just taking off. I hope we don't get another freeze, because if we do, of course it'll knock back the tops here. But if it doesn't, we will have some beautiful, beautiful plants in a couple of months, and some beautiful garlic cloves. I just those go into September, and they've just, year after year, a couple of times. This is the second time I've done it, and it's easy. I recommend everybody plant garlic. You just put them in the fall, throw some mulch on top of there, and then about June or July, you pluck them out, and you can preserve them. You can use them in your meals or whatnot, and it just makes it a whole lot easier. And on the end here, I have my sprinkler, or actually my irrigation controller. The layout, these front two, I'm going to be building trellises in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be putting all the tomatoes in here. And then that one over there, I'm also going to be planting some lettuce in that one. And I've got some cauliflower and broccoli seed starts that are about to go in, and I'll probably put them in here. These other two, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet with them, but I want to do some color. Oh, I know what. Peppers. Peppers will probably go in this one. I love the jalapenos, the bell peppers, the Chinese peppers, just anything pepper. So we'll probably put those in here. And then cucumbers. I'm not exactly sure where I'm gonna put the cucumbers this year. I gotta find a place. I gotta make sure I get the cucumbers in. So that's where we're at here. Now, over here is what I did yesterday, and I'll put a little picture here in just a second on what that looked like before I got started. If you've seen our chicken coop video, our hoop house chicken coop video, that was right here. We had the one I have now is the third version or third edition of a chicken coop in our yard here. And we've learned a lot from each one, and they've slowly gotten better. That coop there did a great job of keeping out the main predators, but I had some trouble with some snakes. The one before it, we had a fox get in there, but luckily the fox didn't get any chickens. So I'm really, really happy about that. I wanted to use this coop here, after I got the chickens out of it, I wanted to use it to grow vining plants, like cucumbers, for instance, or squash, or beans, those kinds of things. But I got into it, start cleaning it out yesterday, and I could tell it was going to be a major pain to try to keep it up, just with all the little nooks and crannies and whatnot. And I figured, well, let's just take it down and maybe turn this into like a pumpkin or a melon garden. I'm going to take and build a wall with the cement bricks around it, and the soil in the middle is beautiful because the chickens were in there for about 2 years. So that soil is really in great shape. I figure I top it with some compost and just put at least honeydew. My wife loves honeydew, and maybe put a pumpkin plant in there and see how those go. I'd be interested in what y'all think about that, and if you have any ideas that might work a little bit better or not quite as good. But that's kind of the plan there. I was also able to get my yard hydrants in. So I've got all those in and ready to go. So that's kind of the state of the garden right now. I want to take you over here and take a look at our fruit trees, because they are simply amazing as well. They're starting to bud out, and I really hope once again we don't get another frost, because I'll lose those buds and have to start over. They'll have to start over from scratch. But I was also able to mulch them late last year and get them nice and built up. Now, I am on very, very hard clay soil here. When we moved in, we had to raise the entire lot. It was all tree. And when we had everything cleared, this clay just solidified. And I want to do what I can to kind of put it back the way it's supposed to over the next couple of years so we can grow here. Now, our fruit trees are just amazing. I'm just so excited. The apples, we had some apples on them, small apples last year, but this is the first one, an apple. And then we have another apple tree over here. And what I did was, because the ground was so hard, I built up the ground with some soil and compost, built the little frames there with the logs, added some straw on top, and the trees are just loving it. They're really thriving. And then over here we have a peach tree, and I'm excited about this peach tree because it's already budding out, and I'm hoping we might get some peaches this year. It might still be a little small, but I can always hope. I tell you, when I was a kid, we had a peach tree at the house back home, and it would get so many peaches every year. They'd just fall off, and the bees would come and just cover them. And at the time, I was deathly afraid of those bees. I thought they were going to sting me. But in the years since, I've learned that bees are really our friends, and we need them. We need them to pollinate our plants, and we need them to survive. So I can't wait for that thing to start dropping those peaches, and the bees coming and pollinate my garden and pollinate all around. And possibly pollinate. I don't know if a plum tree gets pollinated, but if it does, let's hope. This here is a plum tree. And as you can see, we've got a lot of nice, so I'm excited about that. And then this other one also is a plum tree. And I think it's got a few buds as well. Yep, you can just barely see them. It's not quite as far as the other one, but it's getting there. Now, there's a nice little green one right there. Now, I'm a little nervous because normally we have about 1 or 2 more freezes before spring really kicks in, and if it gets really cold, we might lose. They might have to drop some of those flowers and stuff and start over, but we'll never know. So we'll head back over here to the garden. Got 1 or 2 more things to show you and we'll be done. Now, please feel free to leave any messages in the comments, any questions you might have about anything you've seen. And if you'd like me to do a video on some of these things, please be sure to mention that too. I'm always looking for good ideas for videos. So over here, you might have seen it earlier, I've got the solar panels, and I'd be more than happy to do a video. A lot of people have questions about that, so mention that as well. And after, I don't know if you can quite see it, but back behind the solar panels is my compost bins. Now those have been going for about a year now. Because of some of the obligations I had in the last year, I really couldn't tend them a whole lot, but they are still, it's kind of a myth that you have to turn compost. You don't. It can just sit there and it will eventually your stuff will eventually turn into compost just on its own. It just takes a whole lot longer. But in this case, I think we've got some good compost forming in the bottoms of these. And I'm going to move these bins back over by the garden so it's a lot easier to get to. Now, our primary browns in these is my chicken coop when I clean it out, and also my wife's guinea pig bedding and my daughter's guinea pig bedding. We put that in there as well, and those really make a great base. And of course, we use a lot of our food scraps as well. Well, that is it. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking us out. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that your gardens all grow and you just have amazing harvest. Thank you, and take care.